Hi, thank you so much for joining me. This is Jenny Oya with Nuggets and Things. I thank you for this moment, and I just want to share with you just a little bit of something. Is that okay? You know, I was sharing with someone just the other day about things that, we need to be concerned about and things that we don't. Listening to your spirit, you know, when everything is going around you, you just stay tuned to your spirit. Stay tuned in because your spirit has something to say. And when your spirit speaks, it doesn't matter what anybody else says. It doesn't matter even if they agree with you or disagree. It's okay for someone to disagree with you, like it's okay for you to disagree with someone else. Disagreement doesn't mean I'll never speak to you again because we disagreed. It's okay. I don't agree with what you just said or done, but we still cool unless it's to a measure in which we're not, right? But I remember years back when I had this stance that I had about one of my children, and I was trying to tell this teacher that I did not like her demeanor around my child. I didn't like how she was talking to my child. I didn't like how she made him feel. Every time I was going to the school, she had my son sitting in the hallway, and I'm trying to figure out why is he always in the hallway when class is inside. And she made a very negative statement to me. And I was in a place, honey, of peace when she made it. Because if I wasn't, ooh, honey, times would have changed. So she said something really ridiculous, like, well, he's not learning anything in class. I said, ooh, okay, okay, all right. So I set up a meeting with the principal and the teacher, and I said, let's talk. So, in the meeting, I listened to this teacher talk about my son in a very negative way. Just, she was so demeaning of my son. And she basically had counted him out that he could not learn. She was saying he had a learning disability that he could not learn. My son, who came from a wealthy tree, a root that's so deep, full of wisdom, so much knowledge, so much power, through our veins, all this royalty, all this love, and he can't learn. And you're talking about a tree that's full of intellect, and he can't learn. Well, in that meeting, I looked at the principal. I said, well, I've sat in this meeting for about 10 minutes and I've listened to this teacher speak nothing but negative about my son. She hasn't said one thing that was positive. So I want him out of her class today. The principal said, oh, well, just give us some time. No, ma'am, you got until the end of the day to find another class for my son. And then when you find his class, I want him out of that program and into a regular class doing what he's supposed to be doing. Oh, well, it's going to be hard. I don't care how hard it is. I want him out of that class. And I want him in a regular class where he can learn. I need him to catch up. He'll never catch up as long as y'all keep him in a program. A program now. Listen to that word, honey. A program that is programmed to keep him behind. Pull him out today. Now you got a choice, honey. You can take him out, or I'll pull him from this school. Tomorrow morning, he will not be at the school, and I will put him somewhere else where I have to drive him every day, but he will not be succumb to this kind of treatment. Period. And this is probably, oh, gosh, 30 some years ago, honey. That day, they pulled him out of that classroom, put him in another classroom. And this classroom that he was in, honey, my son, let me hear you tell you, against what that teacher said about my son unable to learn. My son graduated from college. Honors, honey. College. I didn't say he finished school. He graduated from college. Now, what if I listened to what she had to say? So many times in life, people are putting things to you, telling you what you can and cannot do, right? And then if you listen to them and not listen to your spirit, and then stand on what you believe, babe. Not believe what you know. Because I found out when you say believe, honey, you're still trying to figure out if it's true. But when you know something, honey, You ain't going nowhere. I know this thing. I know. And honey, I'm telling you today, with the shaking that's going on in this world today, and this is shaking, honey. Mother Nature, honey, is taking back everything, honey, that belongs to her. You hear me? Mother Nature, honey, is showing herself. If you don't know it, honey, I'm getting ready to tell you. Mother Nature, the universe, God, whatever name you want to use, honey, is revealing and evoking, right? I'm telling you, things are changing. And when people lose control of what they used to have, and you know, honey, whoo, what's that? That's a scripture say, revenge is mine, say the Lord. You know, you ain't got to say nothing, you ain't got to do nothing, but honey, we on the winning team. Did you know that? We on the winning team, honey. It doesn't matter what anybody says or does. If not, wait a minute, let me take that back. It's according to what you're believing, honey, and what you're listening to. Because some things that you put in them ear gates, honey, it lock up in here, and you're going to believe everything on the outside. But honey, when you know that you know that you know that you are on the winning team and you can't lose, you can just sit back, honey, and relax, honey. If I had me a glass of lemonade, I'd be drinking it right now, honey. Because you know, life may give you some lemons. You know, things may get hard, and you might be tossed every once in a while. And you may be dealing with some situations and some things that you are not comfortable with. But that is part of life, honey, because we're not exempt from bad things happening. We just need to know that when bad things happen, we got a good thing coming. That's all you need to remember that. No matter how bad things are that's coming, you got something better, right? It's going to overtake that bad. It will overtake it. You ain't got to worry, honey. You know, sickness and disease may come. But honey, the healing is even more powerful. Do you know that? Do you know that? But how can you tell somebody that you can win something if you've never been in the battle? How can you tell somebody that they can beat something that you have never had to be entangled with? How can you tell somebody you can have peace in a storm when you ain't had no storms? How can you tell somebody that they can go through something and all you can do is get to it and give up? You can't. So part of our walks in life and our ability to be able to do a praise and to say, yes, we did it, we made it, we overcame it. Honey, I'm healed. Oh, honey, right now I got everything I asked for. I'm in this position now. I got this, I got that. I did all that. But honey, you remember the hard times. And I want you to. I want you to remember when I was homeless, because now I'm living in a home. I want you to remember when I didn't have food. Look at the cabinets now. I want you to remember when I didn't have somebody by my side, and I want you to check that out. I want you to know there were times when I didn't have nothing, honey, in the bank but some a point, something like 12 cents. It didn't have a dollar in front of it, right? But now, look at it. Look what happens, what changes when you decide to live a life in a different way. You know, when you decide to be somebody different, things happen and it will change and it will help you. It really will. So don't get lost in the shuffle, in the tossing, and all the the distractions. Because that's what they are, the distractions. Look over there. See what they're doing with that? And you're looking over there. And while you're looking over there, they moving, they shuffling over here. Now I told you about that before. I just came to remind you. Because honey, I can't be here all the time. Because I'm working, honey. I'm working on something. And it's coming to fruition. And I'm so excited about it. It's keeping me busy. It's keeping me, my mind has got to be, you got to stay focused. You cannot lose your focus. Whatever it is you say that you want, whatever you say it is you said you how you want to accomplish, whatever it is you want to go, you cannot get lost by the tossing that's going on around you. Because they're gonna keep tossing, honey. You just stay focused, stay grounded. You know, you keep your mind, or they say keep your eyes on your prize, whatever. You know, don't, honey. That's all I got to say. You know, things are happening, but you be the happenings. Remember, it's where you are, what you believe, and what you're able to do that's going to matter. That's it. You have a fabulous day. This is Jenny Oya with Nuggets and Things. And I want you to let your light forever shine. I want you to be straight in to your spirit. Invoke your ancestors, your spirit, to have its way and to drive and to lead and to guide and to protect and to be. And you can't go wrong. You will succeed. Have a blessed day. Love you much.